natural Skulk Shrieker 4 times. That was the first time I activated it, and if I use this command, I can see that my warning level is 1. I've triggered it so I could reach level 3, and now, when I step on it, I'm at level 4, and the Warden should spawn. There we go. So for some reason, there is a Warden spawn tracker command, which you can use to change that number without using a Skulk Shrieker. So I can clear it, and now if I get my level, it's 0. Or I can set it back to 4, and then the next time I activate a Shrieker, another Warden will spawn.
Eggs and me.
What?
I regret to inform you that if you're drinking an ominous bottle and waiting for the raid omen effect to end, then you are a level 1 noob. You see, I'm a level 100 hacker, which means I use the raid command to start a raid instantly. I can also do raid set omen to increase the difficulty of the raid. I can do raid check to check that there's a raid here. I can do raid spawn leader, which spawns a leader illager. Raid glow makes all the illagers glow. And raid stop stops the raid entirely. There's also a wacky one called raid sound, which requires a type, but the only type that actually does something is local. And when you run this
sucks, man. Can we cheat for a sec?
you can just barely hear a raid horn, which it plays 5 blocks away from you on the x-axis. The last command is probably the most interesting one. It's test with a whole bunch of options. This is Mojang's unit testing system. When developing software, a programmer might want to take small units of their code and run automatic, isolated tests on them. It can be as simple as simulating a button getting clicked and checking to see if it did anything. Minecraft has its own custom system where they literally spawn in a bunch of mini structures that test a single game mechanic or interaction. What you're seeing is a clip from a talk by former Mojang employee Henrik Niebed. If you're interested, there's a link to the full talk in the description. While I don't have access to all the tests they have in that video, with the test command, I can make my own. So let's make a test for powder snow being dispensed by dispenser. What I can do is test create, then let's call it powder snow dispenser. Let's make it 3 by 3 by 3. And when I run this, it'll create a little setup. Now what I can do is build the setup. To save this, do not use the structure block. Instead, do /test, export closest. To add this to my mod, I'll go to my Minecraft folder, find the game test structures folder, take this, and add this to my mod's data pack. Now comes the scary part. You have to code this test in Java. Don't worry though, they actually make it quite easy. So in this class for our test, we have a method annotated with the name of the structure we saved. In here, I can write out the test. We can use this context to interact with the world. So let's go back into the world and see what we need to do. Alright, we'll need the context to press this button and then detect that this block is powder snow. However, there's a problem. It doesn't know where this button is. It's not as simple as typing in the coordinates of this button. If we place this test elsewhere in the world, the coordinates of this button will change. Thankfully, because this is a structure, we can get coordinates relative to this corner. And of course, there's a command to help us with this. We can do test pose, and that'll tell us where this is relative to this corner. So this is at 1, 2, 0. The powder snow is at 1, 3, 1. Back to the code, we can have the context push a button at 1, 2, 0. Then the context can expect a block. The block is powder snow, and it's checking at 1, 3, 1. Alright, I'm gonna relaunch my mod with this code, and it should all be working. Okay, let's test it out. So I can go over here, do /test, run, and yep, I have an option for the mod's test. And let's see.
I hate you, other dad. Oh my god.
What? It failed. It expected powder snow, got air, but there is powder snow. Well, that's fine. I control what happens when it fails. You can see there's a beacon that shows you the status. In this case, it's red because it failed. This electron has a booking code that tells you exactly what went wrong. And there's even a red box being rendered telling you what it expected. Alright, I figured out what I did wrong. Instead of doing expect block, I should have done expect block at end. Of course, rookie mistake. Okay, now if I try it again. Yay! It worked. Well, this was a simple demo. Hopefully you can see how this can be really useful for developers. If you're at Mojang working on a snapshot and you change a feature, you can run all their automatic tests and see if you accidentally broke anything. Well, now that I'm done with this, I can use /test clear all, and it will remove it. In Java Edition, when you press F3, you get the debug menu with its lines that span more than half the screen, which you love to see. You might also know that if you press F3 and another key at the same time, like F3B, you get some hidden editing tools. In this case, I can see hitboxes. Well, wouldn't you know it, there are some hidden F3 key combos, which my mod makes accessible. A lot of these have to do with how the world renders. So first of all, there's F3E, which shows you the section paths. While I'm not entirely sure what this is, I do know that these points are the center of a chunk section, which is a 16 by 16 by 16 area. And it seems like they get more green the further away from you they are. I am certain this is ruining the bitrate, so I'm going to turn this off with F3E again. And moving on, there's F3L, which disables the smart call. This again has something to do with rendering, and it definitely impacts performance. Notice how if I reload chunks, you can see all the chunks popping in quite slowly. Now I'm going to do F3L again to re-enable smart call, reload the chunks, and it's near instant. Next, when I press F3 and U,
look,
what is this? We get a massive shape called a frustum, which encompasses everything that was in view when I pressed the keys. If I press F3 and U again, you can see it moves, and this little rectangle takes up where my camera was. Everything that lies beyond this shape is cold, or it is not rendered. This is an optimization technique called frustum culling, which prevents everything you can't see from rendering. The frustum is also responsive to your FOV, so if I turn it all the way down and then capture my frustum, you'll see it's quite pointy, and if I turn my FOV all the way up and capture it, you'll see it creates quite a broad shape. And then to disable it, I can hold shift and then do F3. There's F3V, which shows section visibility. Now, rendering is not my strong suit, so I'm not entirely sure what this is doing, but I know for certain it has to do with optimization. I think these red lines point to other sections based on some sort of metric. You can see underground, you have these very interconnected red shapes. Last and definitely least is F3W, which claims to enable a wireframe, but it actually doesn't. As a matter of fact, in code, it changes a value that's not checked anywhere. This must be a discontinued feature. Let's move on to the final and most diverse set of developer tools, debug renderers. Because there's a lot of them, I helped myself out and added a custom F3 key combo, F3 F6, which opens a custom menu where I can enable and disable all these debug renderers individually. Only 2 of the debug renderers were completely functional by default, and that is the chunk border renderer, which is in vanilla, and you can get it by pressing F3 and G, and the box you get with test pose with text on top, that is also a debug renderer that's enabled by default. However, the rest I had to repair. The game had instances of all these debug renderers, but it didn't tell them to render, so that was the first fix I did. I told them to render, and that got some of them to be fully working. Regarding the rest, well, how do I put this? Minecraft runs in 2 environments, the client and the server. When you join a Minecraft server, your computer is running a client. There's information that the client knows and the server doesn't, and there's information that the server knows, but the client doesn't. However, they can tell each other this information by sending packets. This is where the difficulty lies. Even when I'm in single player, the game simulates a client as well as a server. This means your game has to send packets to itself to work. So some of these debug renderers are functioning off of information that only the server knows, which means I need to send packets so that my client knows this information and can render it. The good news is that the game already has a packet that handles debug payloads, which inform the debug renderers. As a matter of fact, the game even tries to send this information. For example, the B tries to send its information every game tick. However, when it comes to filling out and sending these payloads, the code is missing. So what I've done is put together these payloads and make the server actually send them. There's almost no documentation on how these payloads are supposed to be assembled, so it's possible that some of these debug renderers are running on the wrong information. Regardless, I think I did a good enough job, so let's finally get into these debug renderers. First off is water, which represents the fluid level of water with a number. So if I were to place water that pours, you can see that this is 8, this is 7, and down here we got 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It also looks really cool as you approach an ocean. The neighbor update renderer shows you the amount of neighbor updates that happened in an instant over the course of 10 seconds. So once 10 seconds pass, these will go away. If you didn't know, neighbor updates are the system that allow blocks to have chain reactions with one another. Normally, a block will send 6 neighbor updates to the blocks around it. However, redstone is interesting. It sends an extra set of neighbor updates above it, and when I break it, it sends even more neighbor updates. You can see in an instant 6 neighbor updates happened where the block was. Now I understand why Mojang has an experimental toggle in the latest snapshot, which reduces the neighbor updates redstone sends. I mean, just check this out. With a few pieces of redstone, if I power and unpower them, we're getting 65 updates in an instant? That's crazy. I understand why people can crash servers just by powering a field of redstone. If you've heard the term quasi-connectivity and were confused by what it was, this renderer can help explain what it is. Okay, 1 second, I have to wait for these to go. Quasi-connectivity is a bug-turned feature whereby pistons, droppers, and dispensers can be powered normally from a block to the side, or they can be powered by powering this block above them. However, powering this block, as you can see, does not send a neighbor update into the piston. Therefore, the piston needs to be updated somehow so it realizes that it's powered. Now, when redstone is powered, it sends an update 2 blocks out. So if we power this redstone next to the piston, it'll extend. The height map renderer shows you the highest point with different height maps. Minecraft uses height maps to quickly find out the highest point at a given location. You can see there's different colors, so this teal is considered motion blocking, and the green is considered world surface. Motion blocking ignores blocks like grass, which you can walk through, but world surface takes them into account. When I place a block, 2 more height maps come into play. This dark blue is considered ocean floor, and this cyan is considered motion blocking no leaves, so you can see it goes right through the leaves. On the other hand, ocean floor will sink to the bottom of the ocean. Next up, we have Brain POI Village, which covers, well, brains and POIs, or points of interest. This baby villager has a whole bunch of text above it. That is the brain debug renderer showing you what's going on in the baby villager's brain. Meanwhile, this horse and pig don't have anything. That's because they don't have brains. No, seriously, in Minecraft there's 2 different ways mobs can have AI. Either they use this brain system, or they use a goal system, and actually there is another debug renderer for goals. So let's dissect the brain of this villager. The villager's profession is farmer, they have 0 XP, 20 health, they have a potato in their inventory. With the brain system, a mob has a set of activities that then determines their tasks. So in this villager's case, their activities are work and core, which then determine the fact that they're doing the random task, move to target task, and look around task. All this great text above them are the memories that their brains can have. Some of them don't have any info, some of them do have info. These memories play a role in determining how villagers perform their tasks. If I unfreeze the ticking, punch this villager, and freeze it again, you can see the villager's gossip values. For example, I have a minor negative gossip of 25 after punching this guy. And in case you couldn't tell, this also shows the path that a mob is following. That's what these blue and red rectangles are, and the green is their target. Villagers aren't the only mobs with brains. Armadillos have them too, alongside frogs, goats, sniffers, camels, axolotls, allays, breezes, piglins, piglin brutes, hoglins, zoglins, tadpoles for some reason, and wardens. Now, wardens are interesting because they have their own anger level value. If I were to send them a vibration, you can see their anger level increases. This brain renderer will also ruin the illusion for you. You've been told that wardens are blind, but clearly they have a nearest visible player memory. Not so blind after all. The last feature of this debug renderer is the point of interest renderer, which shows you points of interest and the values that pertain to them. In this case, the head of a bed is a home point of interest. This bed has 1 free ticket. This bed has none because it's claimed by Sneak Hair. Yeah, Minecraft has a name generator. We'll get into that in a minute with the B debug renderer. Lots of different blocks are different points of interest, including nether portals. The B debug renderer has a bunch of bee-specific information, like their goals, the position of the flower they're after, their hive, and also a randomly generated name. Any flower they're seeking out is highlighted with the names of bees that are looking for it, and their hive is also highlighted with the names of bees that'll return to it. I'd imagine they'd be using this debug renderer to tweak the behavior of bees so they can properly pollinate. As you saw, poor Twintooth had a bit of trouble, so maybe they need some more tweaks. And regarding these names, Minecraft has a built-in tool that can turn an entity's ID into a name composed of a randomly picked prefix and suffix. Here are the prefixes and here are the suffixes. Comment below tell what your random Minecraft name would be. Mine is silly. The collision debug renderer shows you the collision shape of the blocks around you. The collision shape is different than the outline shape, like this gray outline on the grass, because collision shape is, well, what you collide with. What's interesting about this is it shows you the individual voxel shapes that come together to make the entire collision shape of a block. Here we can see two different voxel shapes that compose these stairs. Or with fences, we can see that the collision shape actually goes half a block higher than the outline shape. And as I stand on the fences, yep, it looks accurate. With fence gates, when you open them, the collision shape goes away, because you can walk through them. This debug renderer also shows some interesting quirks with voxel shapes. When I turn the renderer on, how many voxel shapes do you think compose the collision shape of this azalea? If your guess is 2, with 1 for the stem and 1 for the leaves, then you're incorrect, it's 5. My guess with what's going on here is that the algorithm that figures out the voxel shapes calculates from the bottom up. So it starts with the stem and it continues it all the way up to the square at the top, and now it's left with an O shape around it that it has to turn into rectangular prisms. And so this is the best pattern it can follow. This issue is also noticeable on anvils, cauldrons, and hoppers. Look at how many shapes make up a hopper. That's crazy. Another interesting thing about this renderer is it takes your player into context. So the scaffolding does not look like it has a collision. However, when I'm above the block, it does. But if I sneak, it no longer has a collision. This pretty much reveals how scaffolding works. When you're above it, it gets a collision. But when you sneak, the collision goes away and it behaves like a ladder. It's a little hard to see, but the same thing happens with powder snow. When I'm above it and I put on boots, it gets a collision. But if I'm sneaking or below it, it doesn't. The pathfinding debug renderer shows you a visual for paths similar to that of the Brain and Bee debug renderer. However, this one shows you what type of pathfinding node each block is. So over here I have a pig that cannot cross over the magma because it's danger fire. Skylight shows you, well, the skylight at a given position. So it goes from 15, where it doesn't render, all the way down to 0 in this case. If you're curious about these big numbers, 0 means that a chunk section has blocks, 1 means a chunk section has light data, and 2 means that there is no light data or blocks in the chunk section. I'll also enable light because it's fairly similar. You can see outside these gray areas is 2, inside is 1, and inside these yellow areas is 0. Game event shows you where game event listeners are, like sculk sensors, renders a box around them, and annotates any game event that happens inside. So my footsteps make a step game event, or breaking a block is a block destroy event. Sculk sensors, calibrated sculk sensors, sculk catalysts, and sculk shriekers are all blocks with game event listeners. The warden has a game event listener at its position, and even alleys have a game event listener for note blocks. Also, check out how many lap game events an alley makes. Village sections had no sign as to what it does. It just contained a set of chunk section positions where it renders green cubes, so I just fed in every chunk section which contained a village. Hopefully that works. Breeze shows special data that pertains to breezes. I'll have to go into survival for this one, but you can see a circle renders around me. There's a line that points to me, and when this breeze jumps, a red box renders at their jump target. This circle around me has 3 zones. There's a green zone that I'm in, an orange zone, and a red zone all the way back there. It seems like when the breeze jumps around, it tries and stay between the green zone and the orange zone. You can see when I get up close to it, it tries to run away into this section. Raid center shows the center of the raid, so if I start a raid, you can see it shows the center. This is the position that all the illagers will gravitate towards. Goal shows you the goals of a mob, with the green one being the one that they are currently doing. If I get an evoker in here and dye the sheep blue, you can see it's doing the look at target or Wooloo goal. Sorry, I just wanted to point out that there's an entire goal dedicated to Wooloo. Supporting block renders a cube slightly larger than the block you're standing on, as well as the collision shape of the block you're standing on with colors that go from red to yellow. I'm not really sure what this is for. Maybe it's for detecting the block you're standing on even when your center is not above it. Chunk loading shows you the status of all the chunks around you. Minecraft full means that the chunk is done generating, and entity ticking means that entities will, well, tick. If I start flying really fast to generate new chunks, you'll see that these chunk statuses have different colors. Unfortunately, they go away too fast for them to really be red. However, this pattern might seem familiar. Ooh, mushroom mine. When you make a new world, these pixels represent the chunks around you, and the color represents which step it is. So this debug renderer is just a in-game visualization of that. Structure renders the bounding boxes of individual individual structure pieces, as well as a large white bounding box for the entire structure. In this village, this green structure piece is the origin that all the other pieces stem off of. You'll also notice these empty pillars in the town center. These are structure pieces that contained a villager. I can run this command to spawn in the exact piece with the villager. This is what a sprawling mineshaft looks like with this debug renderer. This is what a trial chamber looks like. Notice how every single pot is its own structure piece. Interestingly, this intersection room is not the origin. It's actually this room over here. Where's the bounding box for this shipwreck? Why, it's all the way up here. I guess the shipwreck structure piece is placed up in the air, and then the blocks are placed into the world. Gravity does its job and it goes to the seafloor. It's a similar case for ocean ruins, and this single floating green cube is actually buried treasure. Even though it's buried, you can get a feel for how the trail ruins generate based on these bounding boxes. Here's what an ancient city looks like. Here's a stronghold. Notice how this dungeon does not have a bounding box? That's because it's a feature and not a structure. Here's a bastion, and check out this end city. This looks really cool. Block outline renders all solid block faces in red. In other words, this is a debug renderer that shows you where you can place buttons. For example, the face of this door is red, therefore I can put buttons on it, but if I open it, then these faces are red, so I can put buttons here. Last and definitely least is World Gen Attempt. Again, I had no clue what this did. It was just a list of colored boxes, so I made it place a white box in every single chunk. And because I had nothing else to do with this, I also made blocks change color when you click on them with a dot. I'm sure some of you have been wanting me to turn everything on at once, so let's do it. First, I'll do the F3 key combo, so E, U, L, B, W, and now debug renderers. My frame rate is definitely dropping. Alright, here you go. This is what it looks like with everything enabled. Well, if there's one thing that I've learned, it's that more goes into making Minecraft than meets the eye. If you want this mod, my Ko-Fi supporters got it early, but I'm releasing it publicly now. Link is in the description.
This is beyond watchable. Wait! Finally, holy shit. Oh, Netherrack has a... Dude. Sand. Save me.
This is me getting every Minecraft effect at the same time for the advancements. How did we get here? Not only that, but I'm gonna get a full beacon, full set of netherite armor, visit every biome in the game, every food, kill every mob, tame every cat, and resummon the Ender Dragon in only 6 hours. Now, if you couldn't tell, this challenge is really, really hard, so I had to come in with a plan. I talked to some friends, did some research, and the way I wanted to start off was to spawn in a desert. This is important because we need to loot a desert temple first. Desert temple. Yes, let's go. So the first thing we do is punch sandstone with our fist. Desert temples are important for one key resource, gunpowder. The gunpowder is going to come in particularly useful when we reach the end and need rockets to fly around. And yes, I'm eating the spider eye and rotten flesh right now because we literally need to eat everything. This spawn was even better than I thought because we have a village and lava pool. So I made quick work of the iron golem, blew up some food, and went to get my flint.
I'm built different, alright?
Oh my gosh, first try flint. That means the run's going to be good. That just means it has to be good. While I build my lava pool here, let me direct your attention to the All Advancements tracker. This shows literally everything I need to do. Every mob I need to kill, breed, tame, all of the random achievements. And whenever I get them, it'll light up like you can see in these top left corners. It updates every 5 minutes, so it might not be the most accurate, but it gives a pretty good gauge. 4-minute enter. That's pretty good. The overall strat here is to beat the game first, so we have an elytra to fly around and do everything else, because like going to every single biome, it takes a long time. You might have missed it there, but while I was running in the direction of a bastion, I saw a blaze spawn. This is perfect for the speedrun, but the other structure, a bastion, I wasn't sure on its location.
Oh, I'm goated.
Please, open up, open up, open up. Oh, I see it. Wait, did I see it? Or am I just blind? I'm blind. I feel like Minecraft is trolling. Found it. There we go. Be like grid.
Get rid of a negative choice.
Using a lodestone is one of the many advancements I've never even got.
Not worth it. Ow. Ow.
My boat. I was very comfortable with the first part of this speedrun. It's just beating the aim. I've done that many times.
What is this?
You want a rod?
I want a rod.
What you want,
There's so many.
I'll tell you what you want. What you really
Once all the gold was traded and I had all of my ender pearls, I was good to go to the fortress.
Oh my! You gotta get this rush.
Where am I going? Open.
We're getting no drops. You go kill it. You go. Oh my God.
Along the way, I made the fully charged respawn anchor, and I was good to kill blazes.
Let me. Dude. Oh my God. I'm trying to make it. What are you doing?
Bro, that was insane! I didn't get the most insane blaze rates, but this portal build was so nice.
I hit air.
Oh my gosh, that was hard. After throwing an Eye of Ender, I built my second nether portal and ended up in the stronghold. Alright, 14 minutes strong.
That's a run! Oh my god.
The silverfish were a little annoying while I was trying to break the spawner, but it did remind me I have to kill one. Definitely don't want to finish everything and then realize, oh my gosh, I forgot to kill one silverfish. I gotta go all the way back. Okay, now that it's filled in, I need the...
What are you doing? What am I hearing? No blocks. What?
Also known as a library. Libraries are great because they have paper, which is the second thing I need to make my firework rockets. Plus, you get a lot of books. Oh my gosh, what the...
Cry about it? We literally just need to get
looting
off. That's it. That's
oh my gosh, what the heck? My inventory management was getting out of control, but I did have a lot of goodies. That was insane. Those books were crazy. So I entered the end, did a little strategy called half bow, and killed the dragon. Oh wait, achievement, boom, dragon's breath. It's important I don't actually kill the dragon with beds here because I do need the kill credit. The ender dragon was one of every mob I need to kill.
Flowers, just like you.
Boom. Okay. Okay, I got the fire. Or my XP's gonna burn. Go, 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 go,
I think
go,
that's
go.
a rod.
Yo.
I got the 6th rod. Okay, we need one more.
Dragon egg. So far, we hadn't got a crazy amount of advancements, but we're only 19 minutes in. Now comes the time to get the elytra.
No!
Alright, 20-minute outer end. Oh, and there's a shit.
This is unbelievable.
I make this.
Drop.
Right.
You dropped.
I'm so scared. I've done a couple practice runs up until this point, so I did know I needed to get a few things like a chorus fruit. I kept forgetting to eat that, but otherwise we made it to the end ship.
Okay, I have like
just don't die here. Right, die the last like, 2 times.
Oh wait, you're right. Fuck.
Okay,
Shit,
I'm in, baby.
Wait,
in.
you're right.
Let me get this.
Damn it. Why am I in the nether?
Nice!
You took too long, so
acquired.
the
From
game
here,
chose
it was
for
as
you.
simple
I
as
didn't do
getting
that.
all the
Right in
enchanted
front
items I
of
need
me.
from the chest. Except it wasn't that simple. Like, I'd only done a couple of these runs, so I didn't know exactly the enchants I need. This whole challenge is really quite overwhelming, especially when you're trying to do it in 6 hours. But now comes perhaps the coolest part of the entire run, getting a shulker to the overworld. Now, normally you'd have to build a bridge all the way back to your end portal to get your shulker home, but speedrunners have developed this strategy to get the shulker to the overworld much faster, and it's affectionately known as the shulker.
Okay, I'm no longer allergic to flowers. My crosshairs even more. I just gotta like get the eye. Okay, here's a plan. Okay, I actually can't see shit, dude.
2. This strat basically involves unloading a fishing rod so that you can get further away from the shulker and thus hook it with more power. It's a little complicated, but looks so cool. Alright, ready? Watch this, guys.
Okay, I have the coordinates, I think.
Shulker, please
We're gonna go to the coordinates. Why? What's so funny?
Go to your inventory,
Yeah, what's in my inventory? Yeah.
Any second now.
Yeah, I
Yes!
Okay, you see
Yes!
on the side, right?
Oh my gosh, I might have overshot it.
Like, scroll your mouse down. The effects.
Yeah.
I don't think I overshot it.
Dude, I hate you
It's
so
so
much.
Dude,
You really made me do all that. Unbelievable.
Oh, it's coming down. I didn't
Wait,
overshoot
this is not
it.
the chunk where the portal is, right?
Right? I didn't undershoot it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, it's not the one.
Yes, dude.
Okay, Jimmy,
Yes.
listen, just go to the
Come
nether.
with me.
We're just gotta go to the where the like calculator tells me to. That's all. That's it.
Go through.
Okay,
Yes,
108,
he's through,
108.
dude.
I
Oh
wish
my
I could
God.
see.
You have
Okay,
no
there,
idea
okay,
how like happy that made me.
Oh, I can't place blocks.
I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I did that. That was so sick. Did you guys see that? The rest of the looting went pretty smoothly until I saw
Make the
this.
rabbits evil. Also, yeah, I think this is like
What the?
too far for. We're not landing that stronghold, bro. We're not landing there. What the hell is
What
this?
the?
Okay, it's that way. It's that way.
Okay.
It's
I made
100
sure to
blocks
get
away.
a great view from up here before I left. There we go. And once back at the starter end island, all I
missed
needed
it.
to do was get the shulker through the portal. This honestly took 10 minutes. I didn't really know what I was doing, but somehow I managed to get him through the portal. And then we shoot his boat.
All these blocks hurt.
He's here!
right back.
He's
No,
here!
you're coming
And that's
over
all
here.
that
Come on,
matters.
come
Before I
on.
start flying
Get over
around like a
there.
maniac trying to get all the biomes, all the mobs, all the breeds, I need to get some enchantments first. The coolest thing about this part of the run is on every Minecraft world, you have the same first enchantment. So as long as you don't log off before getting enchants, your diamond sword will always be eluding 2 enchantment, which is especially useful for this run. I did get some slime balls during the night, but this is where my pace started dying. It's almost been an hour, and I feel like I've wasted so much time enchanting and looting end cities. This is our current progress on the achievements, by the way. A few minutes into looting desert temples, though, I realized I should probably get mending on my elytra. I have no idea how long this challenge is gonna last. So I got a couple of villagers in a hole and started re-rolling for mending until I got it.
Dude, we can't. You know what?
Mending.
We've suffered enough.
38 emeralds? You're joking. It was a real pain to get 38 emeralds, but honestly, I didn't see another way out. So there was minus 20 minutes for getting mending. To be fair, I did breed llamas while waiting for villagers to restock, but oh my gosh, it took so long. Getting that mending book was actually painful. Holy crap, I feel like we can finally start this challenge. Oh my gosh, the house is in the desert.
I wish you weren't invisible. Hold on.
Oh, nutso. Oh, crap.
good? All right, let's go. Just chill.
Okay, well, I think every speedrunner needs one of those. Villages were also going to be nice because we have to tame all 11 variants of cats. So I grabbed some fish from the ocean and found a witch hut, which is the only place a black cat can spawn. Yes, my first cat. Next, I bred turtles, which is, it may seem a little inhumane. You actually kill one of the turtles to get 2 seagrass. But you know what? We gotta be speedy, bro. One of the hardest things of this challenge is actually getting a conduit. You need 8 Nautilus shells, which only come from drowned. On average, you have to see about 300 drowned to make 1 conduit. Oh, my first shell.
Are you in there? Jump it.
Yes! Oh my gosh, another Nautilus shell. Trident and Nautilus shell! Oh my gosh. I got the Trident! Oh my god! The reason I was so excited is because so many all advancement speedruns die to not having a Trident. Specifically having a channeling Trident, because during a thunderstorm, you need to hit a villager with lightning and turn into a witch. During my ocean exploration, I also need to make sure I have milk buckets on me at all times. Because if I see an ocean monument, you bet I'm mining that. There's 8 gold blocks in there. We need like 160 for a full beacon. 10 minutes later, I killed a rabbit. I need to eat both raw and cooked. This is another important thing on the checklist, getting a mesa biome. From here, you can see me pausing the game to update my tracker. I gotta make sure I get every Badlands biome. Okay, this time I'm gonna try to do the desert temporal properly, which means taking fall damage. Okay, yeah. And the reason for taking fall damage is so you can eat your food more often. We got a lot of food I need to eat.
Come on, man. Do something.
Jungle!
Come on, be useful.
Oh my gosh,
Come on,
another rare biome. What do I use to breed pandas again? Bamboo? Oh my gosh, they're right next to each other.
No, not like that. No, like go get the crystals.
Oh my gosh. This is the first time I've ever bred pandas.
Oh my god. Placing blocks. My health is
Melons.
Okay, I can't.
Melons! I did the last few things I needed to from the jungle, like getting cocoa beans for cookies, when my Minecraft crashed. Just straight up. And so I literally got teleported backwards a few minutes. I think I remember what I did. Wow, we actually just like genuinely teleported backwards. Okay, here's the jungle. After rebreeding pandas, I bred some ocelots as well. Yes! Yes! Out of the jungle, I was in a warm ocean, so I made to stop by and get myself 2 pufferfish. We're gonna need these to get every effect from the game. At this point, we were 2 hours in, and I was kind of all over the place, which makes sense for doing all the advancements, but I was slowly learning how to tame cats. They are very finicky. If you slightly move your mouse too far, they'll run away.
Okay, I'm out of arrows.
I was also learning what not to do, because at some point, I didn't have efficiency on my axe, so I spent like a good 5 minutes getting it. Definitely not worth it. I made sure to keep looting hay bales for food and desert templates for firewood. Plus, in this one, yes, the Notch apple. It's acquired.
Hey man, wait. Milk the dragon.
Ah, got it. Now, I don't know why this is, but the way Minecraft detects eating every food, cake isn't even a part of it. I made a cake in this run, but literally didn't need to. One of the last important things to do in a desert was to make sure I kill a hut. I followed up the desert by breeding wolves and foxes, and our advancement sheep was looking pretty good. I was lacking on the cat front though, so I dive bombed a few, which like surprisingly worked well. But then I tried to get the dreaded pumpkin pie, and the villagers were not working with me. Oh, no, try again.
Can I please just get through?
Nope, let's try one more time. One more time. Oh, let's try again. Come on. Wheat. Give me wheat. Dude, this is insane. This is absurd. Stop it. Give me carrot. I mean, not carrot, wheat.
Guys, I'm not fucking milking this bitch. Shut up.
Don't you walk away from me. Don't you walk. Okay, we got a new guy coming in. Wheat.
I don't care about eating meat. Sure.
And then pumpkin pie. Oh my gosh.
Blow up.
Rabbit stew. Yeah, baby. Oh, and then I need beetroot stew as well. Oh, you know what? I've been preparing for this moment my entire life. Oh gosh, I threw out my bones because I thought I didn't need them, did I? We'd farm the beetroots later though, it shouldn't be a huge problem. In the meantime, I got a Heart of the Sea from a berry treasure. This would be vital for crafting a conduit. Oh my gosh, I was about to say it'll be a cool day when I get this last Nautilus shell.
I hate this.
Got it, and just like that, another of the 5 hardest advancements was done. We had a Trident, Notch apple, Nautilus shell. The last 2 hard things were wither skeletons and ancient debris, which would come later. Dude, that bat,
I think that's
murder us. Flying up to villages, I would always spam F3 and B, which would flash hitboxes and make it easier for me to spot cats. Sneak attack!
Okay, it blew up.
Okay, it didn't work. There's a donkey.
I wish I could get anywhere without being hurt.
Donkeys actually spawn a lot less than you might think, so I made sure to breed up the first 2 I saw. But we also need to breed a mule, which is a mix between a donkey and a horse. So, we're gonna kidnap a horse.
Yeah, before we die, I wanted to tell you that I was always gay, Yahi.
I made sure to drop the horse in the water so he wouldn't die, but bro, it was a war zone when I got there.
Yahi, that truth person you had it the whole time.
I didn't use it.
I put it in my butt.
Forrest, get away!
I never brushed my teeth.
Oh my gosh. There's so many of you.
Bro, this thing, dude, what? I want this thing killed. Clean shot. I'm getting rid of it, dude. Hold on.
And then to make matters worse, I couldn't breed the horse and donkey together because I just bred them already. So I tied them both to a post, thinking I'd come back when their breeding cooldown was over. But I never came back for those guys because I was on to snowvines. The important thing here is to find an igloo. It's the easiest way to get the zombie doctor achievement. Also, it's the only place strays spawn, so we have to be here at night to kill at least one.
It's coming.
Using the pie chart, I knew there was an igloo next to me, but I could not, for the life, find this dang thing.
We need to blow that bitch up. Come on.
Get it. Oh my gosh, here it is. The most hidden igloo of all time. Fun fact, it's actually faster to break the ladder than climb down them. Okay, cool thing about this.
Okay, get back to the main thing.
So all I need to do is make sure I'm in hard mode, otherwise this won't work, and let the zombie kill the villager. This turns it into a zombie villager for me to cure, but there's a catch. This takes around 5 minutes to cure, so I can't leave the area for the next 5 minutes. I have to think of other things to do. I was honestly pretty stumped, so I made a stone pickaxe. Believe it or not, I hadn't done that yet, until I came up with a few other ideas.
Enjoy my Discord server.
By the way, I'm paying for our pedicures.
By the way, maybe next time.
People with the Wells Fargo Active Cash credit card prefer to pay because they earn unlimited 2% cash back on purchases.
And with that,
visit wellsfargo.com/activecash. Terms apply.
Diamond duplicator.
Oh my
Drop
God.
one diamond on this plank and step back and it'll
No, he stole my potato!
That seems like a no-brainer.
Finally got zombie doctor so I could leave the area. I got zombie doctor, cool. Okay, I can leave now, Since there weren't any great biomes next to the snow one, I decided to go to the nether and get some of the achievements done there. Okay, into the nether we go. First thing I saw was another bastion, which is great because this one in particular has the highest chance for ancient debris. So I put on some gold armor and went to loot. Holy crap.
Shit going on the server today.
Dude! They're everywhere! There's no way! They're not emoting on me. Yep, but not only were they emoting on me, but this death could have been prevented. You know when I switched it to hard mode to cure that zombie villager? I hadn't switched it back, and piglins do so much damage. This was a pretty low moment. I almost gave up, but decided not to waste the 2 hours and 49 minutes I'd spent so far, and I tried recovering my stuff.
Dude, you won't know how my chat's
You already broke something, man? Come on. During Ramadan?
No, I think you should be killed. I think you should be killed. Clean
So
shot.
my shulk rocks didn't burn. I hope my
Rahi, we gotta log off.
That was my
Why?
shulk rocks. I hope my elytra didn't burn.
Yeah, man, they're right.
Oh my gosh.
They're right, man. They were right.
Wow.
Thank you guys for watching. I
I
appreciate
can't believe I got all my stuff back. Oh, this guy has my
Can I edit this
boots.
sign? No.
It felt
Damn
great
it,
getting
can I
my
not,
stuff
like,
back,
bend
and the
the
only thing
rules
that
to my
burned
will?
was my diamond pick, which
kinda
would
fits
come
my
back to haunt me
Ruvadia.
later, but for now, I was feeling great. And I do have a
your
backup
shit, man?
pick.
Does it fix
Oh
that?
my gosh, I can't believe I have it back. I finished stealing all the gold from the Bastion and moved on to killing a Hoglin. Actually, Hoglin and Zoglin. The only way you can get a Zoglin is by putting a Hoglin in the overworld.
Nope. Goodbye.
Oh, there we go. There's that one.
being violence as I'm joining. Man, I have something to do. Yeah, man, I'm really hungry.
While in the overworld, I replaced my whole enchanting setup in hopes of getting Soak Touch. We have to get Soak Touch to pick up beehives. Unfortunately, I wasted all my levels and still had no Soak
I wouldn't
Touch.
start with that. Yeah, I wouldn't start with
Desperation,
it,
I
man.
checked Rune World, no surprise there was not Soak Touch. But I did get a whole bunch of levels from going to every nether biome. Like, that's insane, from level 4 to 20. And at that same moment, I found a good Soul Sand Valley fortress. If you lower your render distance in this kind of fortress, you get a lot more wither skeletons. And I figured now was as good a time as any to get a beacon.
How do you put on? Can you put on like an anime?
Hold on. Bro, do you mind if I put a good video on there? Do you mind?
This is amazing.
Oh, he's gone.
I love Soul Sand Fort. Oh my gosh! I love Soul Sand Fortresses!
Okay, dude. Honestly, like... There you go.
Next
That's
up
good
was
as it
killing a
gets.
ghast while in the overworld. Maybe the coolest advancement we'll see in this entire
Oh my God, this
video.
dude has
Now I think the way
unlocked Minecraft
Minecraft
for like 2
intended you
years.
to
Now
do
the
it
Squid
is to
Game
build a
outfit.
portal big enough to fit a ghast through and then teleport